Kirk is dead, and people's reactions are really weird. Usually when a famous person dies, people try to be respectful. But this time, reactions are totally split. Some people are sad, others are happy. And surprisingly, one of the biggest names in this mess is Brittney Griner. She's not sad at all, she's actually happy. She's not hiding it, and she's not trying to make it sound nicer. Her reaction is shocking fans, athletes, and TV people everywhere. So let's talk about why Griner's reaction matters, why it seems mean, and how this became one of the craziest fights between different groups in sports. Kirk was never someone who stayed quiet. He loved starting fights, attacking the LGBTQ community, and turning arguments into personal attacks. His supporters thought he was brave for standing up for their beliefs. His haters thought he was a bully who picked fights with anyone who didn't agree with what he thought America should be like. And Brittney Griner was right in the middle of his attacks. He made fun of athletes like her, laughed at the WNBA, and acted like including everyone was dangerous. That's why his death isn't just news, it's causing big fights. On one side, fans respect him as a leader. On the other side, people like Griner see it as finally getting rid of someone who never respected them. She's not mourning him because why should she? From her view, him being gone feels like relief. And that big difference sets up everything that happens next. Brittney Griner has always been everything that Kirk spoke against. She's an openly gay star in the WNBA, a player whose identity became part of her public image just as much as her basketball skills. Kirk built his career on putting down people like her. He treated her league like it didn't matter, and her lifestyle like it was a threat to culture. So now that he's gone, Griner isn't offering sympathy. She's happy. She feels like one of her loudest haters has finally been kicked out of the building. And here's the crazy part. She doesn't care if people think her reaction is cold. Her very existence makes fun of his legacy. She doesn't need to cry for someone who never gave her any respect. This isn't about being nice or forgiving for her. It's about finally watching a critic's voice disappear. That satisfaction, whether she says it out loud or not, really hurts Kirk's supporters, who expected everyone to come together and mourn, but instead found rebellion. The split in reactions has been explosive. Kirk's supporters are angry, demanding that everyone show respect now that he's dead. They argue that death should erase old fights, but critics fight back, saying mourning isn't required. Respect has to be earned while alive, not given for free in death. And Brittney Griner, with her happy reaction, has become the symbol of that rebellion. Fans who already didn't like her now make fun of her even more, pointing out her awkward interviews, her uneven playing, and her habit of making everything about herself. But her critics also admit this. Her honest reaction has changed the conversation. Instead of everyone talking about Kirk's legacy, people are now focused on her. And whether you agree with her or not, she's forced everyone to ask the uncomfortable question. Do you really owe respect to someone who never respected you? For Griner, the answer is clear, and her happiness is making the fire burn brighter. If there's one thing basketball teaches, it's that respect has to be earned. Score 40 points in a playoff game, make a clutch shot, or carry your team through tough times, and you get respect. But respect isn't automatic. It's the same off the court. Kirk never earned respect from athletes like Griner. He made fun of her lifestyle, dismissed her league, and turned her name into a joke. So when he died, she reacted the same way he treated her, with mockery. She's happy he's gone. To her, this isn't about tradition or being polite. It's about holding him to the same standard he held her to. If he refused to respect her life, she won't respect his death. That logic might make his fans angry, but in the language of sports, it makes sense. You get back what you give out. And for Kirk, what he gave out was bitterness. And now, that's all he's getting back. Brittney Griner isn't subtle, and she doesn't need to be. Her reaction to Kirk's death is blunt. She's happy. She's not pretending. She's not covering it up with carefully chosen words. She's making fun of him even in death, just as he made fun of her in life. The irony is sharp. The man who once laughed at her lifestyle is now being laughed at by her, and she's enjoying it. Some fans think this makes her look heartless. Others think it makes her honest. Either way, she's controlling the story. Instead of being forced to honor a man she never respected, she's flipping the script. She's the one with power now. The mockery might not win her new fans, but it's clear that her position is loud. And the louder she is, the more it bothers Kirk's supporters, who can't stand seeing her stand tall in this moment. Kirk's death didn't just cause reactions from individuals. It started the culture war again. Conservatives rushed to call him a hero, painting his death as a loss for their movement. Progressives, on the other hand, saw it as the end of a voice that constantly insulted them. And Brittney Griner became the perfect example of why this moment matters. Her happiness shows the reaction of those who felt targeted by Kirk's words. It's not just her personal response. It's a reflection of a bigger divide. She stands there as a symbol of rebellion, refusing to give the respect his supporters demand. And the more they push back, the more her reaction feels like a final victory over someone who spent years making fun of her. The fight is bigger than basketball, bigger than politics. It's about what respect really means and who deserves it. Here's the reality. Brittney Griner's happy reaction has made her impossible to ignore. Even people who usually dismiss the WNBA are talking about her now, and that drives Kirk's fans crazy. They wanted his legacy to shine in this moment, but instead, it's her mockery that's dominating headlines and conversations. She's turned his death into her platform, using it to flip the power balance. For years he got to laugh at her. Now she gets the last laugh, and that's what makes fans furious. They can't stand that she's making this about herself. But in a way, isn't that exactly what Kirk used to do? He loved making everything about him and his fight. Now Griner is playing the same game, and she's winning this round. The anger from Kirk supporters has been loud. They call Griner heartless, cruel, and ungrateful. They accuse her of crossing a line by celebrating his death. But Griner isn't backing down. She's doubling down, staying firm in her happiness. She doesn't see it as crossing a line. She sees it as telling the truth. For her, it's simple. Kirk disrespected her in life, and she's making fun of him in death. That's the score she's keeping. And in her mind, that score is settled. The rebellion is infuriating for his base, but it also shows the cracks in their argument. They want to demand respect from someone who never received it from him. And Griner's refusal to play along is the boldest rejection of that expectation. Brittney Griner's reaction hasn't just started debate about Charlie Kirk. It's dragged the entire WNBA back into the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Let's be real. The league already struggles for respect, constantly fighting the label of being unimportant compared to the NBA. And now its most visible player isn't being talked about for basketball greatness, but for openly making fun of the death of a political figure. Supporters of Kirk are pointing at her and saying, "See, this is why the league is a joke. This is why nobody takes it seriously." And in a way, they've got ammunition, because instead of letting the moment pass quietly, Griner seems almost proud to rub it in. She's happy, she's smug, and she's showing it off like she just scored the game winner, when in reality, she hasn't won anything. That's the mockery of it all. Griner acts like she's some cultural champion, but half the time, she can't even carry her team to importance. She's awkward in interviews, constantly messing up her words, and yet she wants the world to believe her reaction defines an entire movement. It doesn't. It just makes her look petty. And the WNBA, which desperately tries to sell itself as a league of role models, now has its biggest name turning a man's death into a personal victory lap. For fans already doubtful about the league, this is confirmation of every criticism they've ever had. Griner didn't lift the WNBA. With her reaction, she sunk it deeper into ridicule. And the craziest part, she doesn't care one bit. So where does this leave us? Charlie Kirk is gone, and Brittney Griner is happy about it. She isn't pretending, she isn't softening her stance, and she isn't mourning. She's making fun of him, and that mockery has become the symbol of this divide. For some, her reaction proves she's cruel.